On completing this quest, you will be able to undertake Crystarium deliveries for the facet of crafting. You must be a Carpenter, Leatherworker, or Weaver of level 70 or above to proceed. Level 70, Cherish Memories. Allegan-esque node appears to be experiencing an error. Beep, error. Either blockage detected. Firm blow required. Hit me. Hit me. Seek Thiuna. Must seek Thiuna. The Allegan-esque node floats off. Perhaps you should keep an eye on it, lest it cause harm to civilians. Okay. Where would you have gone? Check up here before we jump down. Yeah, here we go. Troubled citizen. Yes, greetings. Do you require something restored? Apparently not. At any rate, could you give me a moment? Nadi here is clamoring for attention. Help me, Thiuna. Firm blow required. Hit me. Hit me. Don't tell me you've gotten your ether blocked again. Very well, I'll take care of it. You need knowledge of Allegan artifacts to fix it. You need specialized knowledge to fix it. Let's say Allegan, because they don't have Allegans on this world. You know. More info. Oh, versed in such machines, are you? Well, I appreciate the advice, but rest assured, I have the situation well in hand. This happens all the time. Yeah. Your node has encountered a problem and it needs to restart. Collecting error information and restarting. Blip doop. Node restart complete. Logging in as Thiuna. More Thiuna. Hit me more. You know, sometimes I think you actually enjoy this, and I still have no idea where you learned to speak like that. Yeah, how'd it get here? I guess it must have been in the Crystal Tower, huh? Now then, you were wanting something? I don't believe I've seen you before. I take it you're new to the Crystarium? I remember now. You're the master artisan who hails from the same land as the Exarch. What was your name again? Yes, that's right. It's a pleasure to meet a fellow crafter from a faraway place. I'm Thiuna, restorer of the facet of crafting and proprietor of the Cherished Memories. For my work, I've had to train in a variety of trades, including as a weaver like yourself. While there are restorers aside from me, my workshop specializes in artworks and traditional handicrafts, items with sentimental rather than practical value, in other words. Given the state of the world, my choice of focus is frowned upon by some, but I knew it was what I wanted to do. So I opened Cherished Memories with Nadi here as my assistant. Adorable, isn't it? It's actually a relic from the tower. Okay. But it had broken down. I couldn't bear to see it lying there discarded, so I restored it as best I could. It's been with me ever since. Am I a good node? Yes, you are. No one keeps records like you, Nadi. Now I realize we've scarcely met. I'd like to propose a little business arrangement. You see, despite the work I profess to do, I'm actually only good at alchemy, my original field. There's still much I have to learn, and I'm hoping I could learn from an accomplished weaver such as you. I don't ask that you teach me, only that you craft the materials I need. By using these materials in my work, I can hone my techniques while getting the job done besides. Of course, I'll make sure you're suitably compensated. However, every bit that I learn from you, I promise to pass on to my fellow crafters. That way your knowledge may come to serve all the peoples of Northront. Oh, so what say you? Can I rely on your help? Thiuna is still a work in progress. Please knock her into shape. Bish bash. I'm in your debt. When you're ready to begin, please come and see me at the mean. To the mean. My thanks for coming. May our collaboration bear much fruit. Hear, hear. So this is cherished memories. Well, it is when I'm here, at any rate. I've neither the funds nor reputation to have my own place, so I'm making use of the means facilities. Without further ado, then let's assign your first task. Nadia, if you'd be so kind. The item to be restored is a painting of Damp Soul, a village in Lakeland destroyed by sin eaters approximately 90 years ago. The client is descended from the denizens of said village. So by restoring the painting, we aim to restore a vision of the village as it once was. My knowledge of alchemy, I've been able to remove the stains, but the canvas itself is in an appalling condition. While the client didn't go into detail, if I didn't know it better, I'd say it was intentionally damaged. Now, like most paintings originating in Lakeland, this one uses a special canvas resistant to humidity. In order to restore it, we'll need a material to match. Can you prepare this for us? Thank you. Once the material is ready, I'll begin work on the restoration. 70, cherished memories, complete. Facet of crafting, Crystalline deliveries unlocked. Crystalline delivery commenced. Facet of crafting, deliveries are now available by delivering the requested items to Thyona and raising yourself in her esteem. You can advance the story of her struggling workshop. All right, well, let's... Custom deliveries, class quest, canvas repair materials. And we're only using Weaver because we have a Soul of the Crafter on it. I think that gives you a slight bonus. It's like increased crit or whatever. I'm not really sure. I don't think it plays much of a role anymore, but since I already had it, I figured if it does. Well, we used Armorer for the other one. There's a lot to do when restoring a painting, but nothing so important as the canvas. Let me know when the repair material is ready. Thank you. This is a fine work indeed, more than suitable for our purposes. I'll put it to good use. As soon as esteem for you has grown, deliver the items Thyona needs and deliver them often and to learn more about her. Two days later. It's done. The painting is restored. Now I can finally get some sleep. Thanks to the quality of your material, the painting should prove durable in any climate. Beautiful colors and fine details will survive a long time. Now then, if you'll wait just a moment, I'll deliver it to the client. Oh, and I'll be sure to mention your contribution. When I told our client about you, he insisted on coming to thank you personally. This is Thaltal. So you are Zilly, thank you ever so much for helping to restore our painting. To others, it may be an unremarkable work of art, but to me and my family, it's an irreplaceable treasure, an heirloom from days gone by. From the days when Lakeland was the domain of the elves. For generations, my family called Damp Soul home. There we lived in peace and thrived thanks to the bounty of the source, surviving war and famine alike. The Sin Eaters came and took everything from us. In memory of this beloved home and departed kin, my artist ancestor took brush to canvas, the result being the painting you've restored. For long years, we've looked after the painting, but in the heat of the quarrel with my brother, I'm ashamed to say I went and damaged it. As I was brewing my foolishness, I came to know about Thyona and her workshop. Words fail to express how glad I am that I did. With the painting in hand, I will go to my brother and make amends with him. After all, he's the only family I have left in the world. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you. You haven't only restored a painting, you've restored the bond between my brother and me. I didn't know the full story till now, but I'm glad it ends well. And it's in no small part due to you. Ah, but to have family. Facet of crafting, Thyona. Delivery complete. Steam level increased. Now considers you supporter of cherished memories. Ah, Zilly, how good to see you. Give me just a moment to clean up. We're in the midst of analyzing the leftover bits of materials you crafted. Aside from record keeping, I also excel in analysis. Impressive, yes? Because restoration draws upon techniques from multiple fields, it's important to understand how certain materials and chemicals react with one another. Over the years, I've handled my fair share of materials, and I can honestly say that yours are a cut above the rest. There's no greater proof than the superior final products they produce. I consider myself truly blessed to be able to learn from you. Still playing around with that floating rust ball, I see. Visitor identified as Owell of the Facet of Crafting. What is a rust ball? Why don't you make yourself useful for a change? Make something useful. After all this time ignoring me, those are the only words you have, and we're not playing around, I'll have you know. We've served many clients already, and there's bound to be more folk out there who have cherished items they want restored. They simply don't know who to ask for help. What's more, we have a veteran artisan on board now who prepares the materials we need. Zilly here. Her skills are at least equal of Master Harig. Skills or no, it's nothing but a waste of precious resources. You do well to open your eyes to reality. It's all around you. What is a rust ball? That was oh well. Oh well. It might not seem so from that exchange, but we used to be close. We both lost our parents at a tender age, you see, and a man named Harig took us in as his apprentices. Master Harig was a restorer, and it was he who inspired me to become one too. When I was little, I had a doll. It was a memento of my late mother, and I treasured it like life itself. But old as it was, one day it fell apart. Back then, we suffered from far worse shortages than we do now. Everyone at the mean struggled to do their work with limited resources, and no one spared a glance for a broken toy. No one save Master Harig. He found me crying alone, clutching my doll. No need for tears, he said kindly, and he took the doll and made it good as new again. There are more such items at the Crystarium, items that serve no practical purpose, that won't help us survive, yet mean the world to someone. They wouldn't have found a place among a refugee's scant possessions otherwise. They're irreplaceable treasures, and I can't bear to watch them crumble away. As Master Harig mended my doll, so would I mend the ties of others. In many ways, you remind me of Master Harig. Not only are you capable, you're kind and dependable. It's a pleasure working with you, and I hope that our partnership continues for a long time. Oh, and thanks to Thaltal singing our praises, we're seeing more restoration requests. Most are straightforward enough for me to handle alone. I have a task here that promises to be quite challenging. For this, I hope to rely on your crafting expertise. Mine is an elderly drawn lady. She's apparently descended from Vobertite nobility. Item to be restored is an antique Vobertite jewelry box, formerly occupying the land known as Ilmeg. The kingdom was destroyed by sin eaters following the flood. Due to the fact that the nation ceased to exist a century ago, it's difficult to source the materials their people once used. In particular, we're struggling to procure suitable fabric for their upholstery, and that is what I would ask you to prepare. My thanks in advance. Thorium delivery commenced. Thorium deliveries list for the owner has been updated. Probably could just do quick synthesis, huh? I don't know if you can do quick synthesis for these. It doesn't matter. It's not like this is super difficult. I think they all have to be the same type too. Like you can only do regular, or you can only do high quality. I don't think you can mix and match. So if I went quick synthesis, I might get a combination of the two. That would end up just messing it up. How's that upholstery fabric coming along? Let me know when it's ready. Yeah, this says I can't carry more crafter scripts. Ah, fine fabric. I knew I was right to ask you. With this, I'm confident that we can do a fine job with the jewelry box. Three days later. It's a lot of days here. I could curl up right here and fall asleep, but first things first, I'm pleased to say that the jewelry box has been restored to its former glory. Especially pleased with how the trimmings turned out. They're as beautifully vibrant as the day they were made. It's thanks to the quality of the materials you supplied. Now then, I'll see this delivered to our client. If you can linger a while, I'll return soon with a word of her impressions. Silly, this is Rosine, our client. She's so pleased with the jewelry box, she wanted to come and thank you herself. Tuna tells me your contribution was instrumental to its restoration. For that, I'll offer you my heartfelt gratitude. My daughter, she will wed soon. You see, the jewelry box is to be my gift to her on her special day. Oh my, such joyous news. Our congratulations. My husband no longer with us. Life has been hard. There's nothing grand I can offer my daughter, yet humble though it is, the box holds special meaning to our family. Been with us since before my ancestors fled Vobert. While most of them sought refuge in Yulmore, my great-grandmother and her husband chose to begin anew at the Crystarium. The box came with her, laden with the memories of her lost home. It was passed down to my grandmother, then to my mother, then eventually to me. It's a treasured heirloom, our connection to time long past. We've taken care of it as best we could. Alas, the years inevitably began to tell on it. Now the time has come for me to pass the box to my daughter, but its condition was such that I was embarrassed to do so. Thanks to you and Thauna, however, I can pass it on proudly. No words will suffice to express my gratitude. I'm forever in your debt. Such a special connection to have with your family and homeland. An orphan like me can only dream. I'd love to visit your homeland one day. Will you promise to take me there? It's going to be a lot harder to do than... I'm merely jesting. No need to look so troubled. I too have a homeland. Glory be to Aleg. Long may she endure. Facet of crafting Thauna. Accept. Crystarium delivery complete. Steam level increase. Thauna now considers you restorer of cherished memories. It is delighted with your efforts. And that's another one in the books. Woo. Tell me, Zilly, what do you think is the difference between repair and restoration? In my mind, the aim of repair is to make something work as intended again. In contrast, the aim of restoration is to return something to its original state. Being the case, in order to do a good job of restoring, it's crucial to know what materials were originally used and how. This requires a great deal of research and analysis, and that is where Nadia has been most helpful. Nadia's most helpful node. Now, an item may bear what appears to be imperfections, be they scuffs and scratches or peculiarities in the wood grain. While we may instinctively want to remove such marks, we must be mindful that they may hold special meaning to the owner. Of course, there's clearly damage that impairs function. We must mend it as best we can. These decisions we make through consultation with the client. We see through his eyes the item as it once was and then strive to recreate it. Now, it hardly needs saying, but a restoration effort can only be as good as the materials used. I hope that cherished memories can continue relying on you. Thank you. Right. Enough chatter. It's time to get back to work. There are currently 3 outstanding tasks. Of these, 3 are urgent. Time to get back to work indeed. You have time to assist me with another task? Wonderful. This time the client is a Zune Amaro handler, and the item is a set of Amaro barding, a very old set. We have our work cut out for us. Before the flood swallowed up their homeland, the Zune lived as a nomadic folk. Amaro were a central part of their lives, and even something commonplace like their barding may carry great sentimental value. That being the case, we must give no less than our best. Not that we ever do otherwise, of course. Now, as to the specifics, what I require from you is the material for repairing the barding's inner lining. As part of that is in contact with the Amaro, comfort is of the utmost import. My thanks in advance. Delivery commenced. Oh, didn't quite make it, did it? When we get to the Endwalker version of this, we may have to hold out till Dawn Trail just so we can take advantage of the experience. So, I mean, like, probably be unnecessary. And just delivering stuff tends to give us enough experience, right? Tomas. Simply behold the barding one can sense the love that Zune bear for the Amaro. We'll do that love justice, you and I. Let me know when you have the repair material for me. Yes, this is solid work, as I know to expect from you. A flawlessly crafted piece that plays to the material's properties. I will see to it my restoration lives up to its quality. Four days later. Mother, is that you? Forget you heard any of that. It's done. That was one of my hardest tasks to date, but the Amaro barding is restored. In the course of using your material, I noticed the little details, the techniques you employed to alleviate the burden on the beast. Such a thing would have never occurred to me. It reminds me of how much I still have to learn. Now, we mustn't keep our client waiting. I'll be back soon. So this has become something of a regularity, but our client wants to thank you himself. May I introduce Zin Guanbai? When it was most effusive in her praise of you, Zillian, I simply had to put a face to the name. Thank you for your part in restoring the barding. Allow me to introduce the fine beast who will wear it. Amaro detected. Proximity too close for comfort. Uh-oh. As you may know, we Zune once lived as nomads. In that hard life, Amaro contributed as much as any man to our collective survival, and we regarded them as family, raising them as we would our own children. Sadly, full many were lost to the flood, and to this day we lament our failure to save them. Barding you restored as an honored artifact. Since ancient times, it has been tradition to bestow it upon the finest Amaro and its handler each turning of the seasons. It is our sole connection to our old way of life. By restoring it, you preserved an important part of our history, of our identity. Understand there are those who disapprove of what you do, but know that you have the complete and unequivocal approval of We Zun. On behalf of my people, thank you. Zun. It truly is no limit to the sentimental value an item can hold. I'm glad we could be of service to the Zune. And while it gives me heart to have their support, as Zen says, not everyone shares the sentiment. Oh well, not least of all. Feathered reptile Amaro are known to spray water from their nostrils. Water and nodes do not mix. Facet of crafting tuna. Team level increased. Tuna now considers you custodian of cherished memories. It is overjoyed with your efforts. New quest continuing a story of cherished memories now available. Upon completion, Crystarium deliveries list for Tuna will be updated. 75. For sentimental reasons, Thuna appears to be deep in thought. Whatever should I do? Wow, how long have you been standing there? I was so deep in thought I didn't notice you. You see, I've been pondering whether to speak with you about Owell. That you should appear at this moment as a sign. Please hear me. As you know, Owell and I were orphans taken in by Master Harrig. We were close friends, playing and arguing with one another in turn, and together we trained as artisans, but all of that changed when Master Harrig disappeared. Young as we were then, we weren't told what became of him, but it's more than likely that, like so many others, he was slain by a sin-eater. From that time on, Owell and I drifted apart. Eventually, we stopped speaking entirely. It was only when I announced my intention to open my shop that he had words for me, and they were none too kind. You don't understand anything, he spat out angrily. Well, he's right in one regard. I don't understand why he so detests my work. It goes beyond mere disapproval. He makes it personal, as if I've done something to offend him. This wouldn't be a problem, except Owell holds considerable influence at the Mean. A bad word from him and we would get no more custom. Sooner or later, I'll have to settle our differences, but the mere anticipation of it is nerve-wracking. Ah, what I wouldn't give for a stiff drink. Command received. Instruction to the Una. Proceed to the Wandering Stairs. I beg your pardon? Oh no, Nadia's going to summon Owell. Seems to be sooner than later. Zilly might ask you to join me at the Wandering Stairs. I could use the support. Owell isn't here yet. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't come at all. Una, so you're the urgent business that I had to drop everything for. Affirmative. Una has a score to settle with you. What was that? Nothing. Be quiet now, Naughty. Force shutdown initiated. There's something I need to ask you, Owell. Make it quick. Unlike you, I've got responsibilities. All right. Not everyone agrees with what I do. I understand that. What I don't understand is why you're so angry with me. You called me here just to ask me that? Huh. Urgent business indeed. How easy life must be when your days are filled with play. What we do isn't play. We restore those items that hold sentimental value for the people of the Crystarium. Listen well. Thanks to the efforts of our ancestors, we've come to enjoy the semblance of a normal life, but shortages are still a daily reality. Shortages you do nothing to alleviate. In the time it took you to restore a single decrepit set of Amaro barding, I crafted a dozen new ones. Master Harrig gone, it falls to me to prop up the Mean. It falls to me because Master had to go off to satisfy some vain obsession, and you had to take after him. Vain obsession? Node restart complete. Resuming suspended operations. Owell not detected. Shall I fetch him? No, Naughty, leave him be. Sorry you had to witness that. Owell didn't used to be that way. Well, I believe in what we do. I can't deny there's truth to his words, but go off to satisfy an obsession. The day Master Harrig disappeared, he had ventured out to procure materials. The item he was seeking to restore was, I hate to involve you in my personal dilemmas, but I need your help. Can I rely on you? Truly grateful. Let's return to the Crystalline Mean. I'll explain everything there. Much back and forth. Cherished memories to survive, we must do something to stem on OL's criticism. It's already done damage to our reputation, judging by this recent decline in business. We must win him over somehow, convince him that cherished memories is a serious venture, and make him see the true worth of our restoration. With regards to the latter, I have an idea. There's an item which, if restored, is bound to strum on OL's heartstrings. But I'm at a loss as how we might show him that we mean business. Ignore the criticism and let our work speak for us. Improve the workshop's appearance. Keep the rust ball in check. But that we could, but OL holds too much influence. We have to do something to make him change his mind about us. Improve the appearance. Now that you mention it, our workshop doesn't have much to draw the eye. Perhaps there's something to be said for looking the part. In order to advertise their presence, shops commonly make use of signage. At present, Cherished Memories has none. Of course, a sign. Why didn't I think of that? You be willing to fashion a sign for our workshop? In light of all the help you've given us, it seems only right that you have the honor. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see the finished product. Oh, and if you run out of materials, Naughty will furnish you with more. Nobody. Like, you run out. That's it. Yeah, this one has to be high quality. How fares work on the sign? I can't wait to see it. Blessed night, what a magnificent sign this is. It incorporates all the techniques of our restoration work, a perfect representation of who we are. From the design to the details, everything about it is wonderful. Not only will this sign attract customers, it will serve to remind me of my goal to emulate your skills. I can't thank you enough for it. This, we can finally show OL that we mean business. I'll see to hanging the sign up as soon as possible. It's bound to be the envy of other artisans. All that remains then is to impress upon OL the true worth of restoration, on which front there's something I would show you. Instrument. This lute was a gift from the Exarch to Master Harrig. Since he left us, it has lain there, broken and silent. Lute. Apparently it was an enchanted instrument whose power had long faded, but its tone was no less beautiful for it. Master would often play this lute at the tavern, and OL and I would go and listen. Seeing how keen we were, he even gave us lessons. We loved the rich, soothing sound, and we weren't alone. Whenever Master Harrig played, the tavern was always full. No matter how rowdy the patrons were, as soon as the first chord was strummed, a hush would fall over the place. The music resonated with them, filling their hearts with peace in both good times and in bad. Following Harrig's disappearance, however, the lute has been gathering dust. That's because no one could restore it properly save Master himself. An instrument demands consummate skill. Back then it was completely beyond me, and even now I don't feel equal to the task. But I must try. Master wouldn't want to see OL and I quarreling. No, he'd want us to join hands and serve the Crystarium and our people. As it does for me, the lute holds fond memories for OL, and by restoring it, I'm hopeful that we can reach out to him. This time it's a personal request. I need your help to make this lute sing once more. Thank you. It gives me heart to have your support. I'll make ready for the restoration and let you know what I require. For sentimental reasons, level 75 complete. So with regards to the lute, following analysis, we've determined the materials we require for the instrument's restoration. Well, as best we could, at any rate. You see, being a gift from the Exarch, it likely hails from this mysterious homeland. As a result, it matches no lute from any culture or era I could find information on. Its shape is subtly different. There are some of the materials used. For these, we're having to make our best approximation. That is unlikely to produce the desired blockage. Detect. Right then, let's begin. As usual, I ask that you craft me the materials we need. Mark my words, we'll succeed yet. We'll make OL see the true worth of restoration. Help me, help. Damn, delivery commenced. To repair. Other than having to get the materials, not that bad. Stormblood ones were better because they gave you the materials to use. The Realm Reborn ones were a nightmare. Heaven's Word, some of the job ones were pretty bad too, because you needed like to go get the stuff. I was on free trial, so I had to go get everything. But these aren't bad because I had some of the materials. You just buy the rest off the market board. Stormblood ones were the best. They just give you the materials you need. You just have to craft them. In order to stabilize the material, we'll need this and oh, greetings, Zilly. Oh, yet another impeccable example of crafting from you. I shall put this to good use. Thanks. Now we have all that we require to restore the loot. Never attempted anything so difficult before. I must confess to feeling not a little nervous, but I will give it my earnest best. With some luck, I'll have good tidings to share before long. Same deliveries, facet crafting, Thuna. You've delivered the requested items. Delivery complete. Team level increase. Owner now consider you savior of cherished memories. Is thrilled with your efforts. New quest, blah blah blah. Level 80. Level 80. The notes of bond restoring. Thuna appears to be under the weather. Oh, it's you, Zilly. If you wanted to ask about the loot, I'm afraid I don't have good news to share. I finished restoration and the instrument looks exactly like it should. Knowing that the slightest warp in the panel can affect timber, I went to great pains to ensure that the shape is perfect, but in spite of this, the sound is all wrong. Not because we V's have superior hearing either. No, the difference will be apparent to any who've heard the loot. Definitely to Owell. I can only assume it's due to the material, but I don't know what else we can use. Buzz, buzz. Hit me, Zilly, hit me. Preoccupied with her thoughts, Thuna does not seem to notice that the node has encountered an error. Give it a firm whack. Node restart complete. Thank you. The answer lies in Harrick's final destination. He went to Kalusia to procure material for the soundboard. What? Kalusia, you say? Affirmative. There he intended to trade with Deondo for the material, which is found on the seafloor. Material from the sea. If it's what I believe it is, it may actually have some in my stores. I purchased it from the Deondo merchant thinking it might be useful. Didn't occur to me before, but it might just work. Could you please analyze it, Naughty? See if it's suitable for restoring the loot? Analyzing material. Its composition closely resembles that which was originally used for the soundboard. Wonderful. It's almost too fortuitous to be true, but I'll accept whatever help we can get. Sorry to burden you yet again, but could you fashion a modification component using this material? We'll succeed this time. I know it. Yay. I'm sorry to burden you yet again, but I can't do this without your help. Please fashion for me the component. Oh, this looks promising. Yes, very promising indeed. I'll put it to use at once. Finally done. Master Harrig's loot, precisely as it once was. Analyzing loot. It is identical in both appearance and sound with a margin of error of 1%. In other words, excellent work. I don't know how to thank you. Couldn't have restored the loot without your help. You're the finest artisan I know, and I count myself blessed to have had the privilege of handling your handiwork and growing from it. Now I realize that when we first met, I said something to the effect of not asking you to teach me, but if you might indulge me one question, is there a tenet that you adhere to, principles that guide you? Pay due respect to your materials and the life whence they come. Understand your customers and genuinely wish for their happiness. Know the material, be the material, and love the material. I see, to reach the pinnacle of your craft, you must know your materials like you know yourself, and in treating them with love and care, we can draw out their full potential. Thank you. I'll carry these words with me in all that I do. Now then, it's time to present the loot to Owell. Ideally, I'd like to meet him where Master often performed. The question is, will he come when asked? He was none too willing last time. Command received, determining Owell's location based on previous movements. Instructions to Theuna and Zilly, proceed to the Wandering Stairs. What? Now, wait just a... No time like the present, I suppose. As before, I'd appreciate if you could be there too. Come, let's get this over and done with. Yes, let's get this over. Wandering Stairs. No sign of Owell yet. I swear the wait is the worst part. Do something about this rust ball. It gave me a bloody lightning shock. It was a minimal release of energy intended to encourage Owell's attendance. I think I like Naughty a lot. I'm so sorry. It's just, there's something I wanted to show you. Master Harrig's loot? You fixed it? Not by myself. I had help from everyone at Cherished Memories, from Zilly and Naughty. This is fine work. Not even the slightest warp, and the ornamentation is immaculate. You've done well to restore this thing. So what? Will it feed the people? Shield them from the cold? I didn't think so. If there's nothing else, I'm returning to work. Thought I heard a nostalgic sound. What should it turn out to be but Master Harrig's loot? My brother and I lost our parents, and music comforted us, lifted us up from the depths of sorrow. After a hard day's work, there was nothing better than listening to these soothing notes while trading tales with my kin. It helped us to face another day with a smile. I remember the day I met my husband in this tavern. 'Twas Harrig's music that drew us here, and we might never have known each other otherwise, and had our beautiful daughter. Master Harrig knew well. He knew how this loot could touch people's hearts. He felt it worth restoring in spite of the risk to obtain the material. The master is gone, his loot may still bring hope to those who live in despair and bind together those who are left behind. Indeed, my former master, the Archmagus Noah, imbued the loot with the prayer of hope when she created it. Glory be to Aleg, long may she endure. The person who made this loot was your master? What an amazing coincidence. All right, Thuna, I understand now what it is you seek to do, and I accept that it's for the good of the people. Yeah. I have a confession to make. The person who broke the loot, it was me. I remember watching Transfix as Master Harrick worked on it. The way he took the battered old thing and made it gleam again, it was simply magical. But when I picked it up to take a closer look, it slipped from my hands. I braced myself for Master Harrick's fury, but he wasn't angry in the slightest. There's no need to cry, he said with a smile. What is broken can be fixed. Then he set out and never returned. Though I was but a boy then, I knew full well that the loot served no practical purpose. It wasn't essential to our survival. The thought that Master had died in vain ate away at me. I hated myself for breaking the loot, and I hated the very idea of restoration. So that's the way of it. You've opened my eyes. Master's work was important. I understand now. That we might have food to fill our bellies and a roof over our heads. What's it all worth if we don't have hope for the morrow? Yeah, You have my gratitude, Zilly. Thanks to you, I've come to realize the importance of the bonds we share. Food has brought many people together. Perhaps one day it'll bless us orphans with families of our own, too. Oh, young ones, it seems to me the two of you already have family, each other. Oh, it may have fooled you, Thuna, but it doesn't fool me. 'Twas out of the concern for your safety that he opposed your venture. That is the very definition of brotherly love. I'm going back to work, but Thuna, if you ever need help with anything, it is a component that you can't make yourself, you come straight to me. I won't have you die trying to do everything on your own. Oh, they made up, sorta. Kinda, mostly. Family, I suppose deep down I knew it was true, but to actually say the word, it's a little embarrassing, but not unpleasant. Come, my friend, let's return to the workshop. I'd like to thank you properly. To the workshop. No, we're not going to do them all today. I think this will probably be it. Thanks to you, our workshop can continue doing its good work. I'm truly glad to have met you. Tell me, Zilly, do you think Master Harrick heard my playing as well? I like to think so too, and I like to think that he was happy to see Owell and I mend the rift between us. I'll do all I can to nurture our bond, and if something should cause it to break again, then we hit it hard. Now, that only works for you, Naughty. I'll continue honing my skills, ever aspiring to reach your heights, and whatever the future has in store for Norvran, I'll continue doing my part to make it a better place by keeping the people's cherished memories alive. Whenever I can, I'll go and play the lute at the tavern. As it did in Master Harrick's hands, its music can bring some comfort to people once more. Forgive me, Zilly, I know you're a busy woman, so I won't keep you any longer, but promise to pay me a visit from time to time, all right? You'll find me right here, doing what I love doing best. Notes of Bond Restoring. Complete. Esteemed contributor, Facet of Crafting, you have completed all of Thuna's tasks. She now considers you a restorer of bonds. Thuna couldn't be happier with your efforts. There may be other folk in the Crystalline mean who could use the assistance of a talented artisan. Ask around and see who is in need of your skills. Thank you for the music. All right.